Welcome back, America. Hugh Hewitt inside the Beltway this morning, talking with Hogan Gidley. He is the principal White House deputy press secretary. Good morning, Hogan. Good to have you back.
Oh, thanks so much for having me. I appreciate the time.
Couple of quick questions. First, you expect the president's legal team to request witnesses in the Senate trial?
I'm not sure. We have to see the evidence first. Things are going pretty well so far. You've seen Jay Sekulow out. You've seen Pat make some comments on the floor as well. I mean, we talked about evidence that was overwhelming from the Democrats, and they get there, and the first thing they say is, "Hey, we need more evidence. We need more witnesses." We'll wait and see what happens. I definitely don't want to get ahead of our strategy, but the fact is, I think the president's done nothing wrong, and when Jay and Pat and the rest of the team have a chance to present their case, I think the world's going to see that plainly and clearly.
But if Democrats insist and enough Republicans join them to oblige witnesses to be called for the prosecution, will the president's lawyers insist on calling at least an equal number of witnesses for the defense?
Well, thankfully, in the Senate process, this is going to be fair. It has been to this point. We expect it to be fair in the future. And listen, if you were accused, if anybody in the sound of our voices um, had been accused falsely of a crime for 3 years with no proof and no evidence, you'd want everyone in the world coming out who knew the truth to say this person did nothing wrong. And so we've been prepared all along that if we need to call Hunter Biden, if we need to call Joe Biden, if we need to call the whistleblower, if we need to put Adam Schiff up there, we'd be ready, willing, and able to do so. That being said, we're hearing there could be a dismissal. That's some things batted around. It certainly, merits a dismissal because there is no proof of any crime, and there's no even alleged crime in the articles, as you know. There's been talk about something in the middle, kind of a couple of witnesses, and then moving on from there for a vote. So whether it's short, long, or something in between, we're going to be ready regardless. But I can assure you, as the president said many times, he wants the truth out there in whatever form that takes, and he wants to be exonerated. And we expect all those things will happen.
There are many options out there, but there's always a preferred path. At least in my 30 years of practicing law, my team has always had a preferred path. I think your preferred path would be for a quick dismissal. I just believe that to be the case. Have you heard that said?
We've talked about it. Again, this is up to the Senate. We're respecting the body to act fairly, which they have, as I said, to this point. When you take a look at the evidence, and I think it was Pat or Jay made this comment on the floor of the Senate. If you were trying a case and you walked in and said, "Judge, I have ironclad evidence," and they said, "Present it," and you said, "Well, wait a minute, I need more witnesses and I need more time, I need more evidence," you get thrown out of court. This isn't obviously a court. This is the Senate, so there are a lot of politics at play here. We'd be happy with that, of course. We'd be happy with anything that leads to the exoneration of the president because we know the facts prove he's done nothing wrong. In fact, the things he's accused of are constitutional, they're legal, they're lawful, and he did them on behalf of the American people. So I understand the Democrats don't have a problem wasting the American people's time. They definitely don't have a problem wasting their money. But this president's a little different, and our team is prepared whichever path the Senate decides to go.
Now, Hogan, three big news stories are out there. Number one, the Wuhan coronavirus. Is this administration prepared? Have they consulted widely, and are they ready to spring into action if more than one case arrives in the United States?
Absolutely. We are prepared. The people need to understand that we've have been vigilant. We remain vigilant. We will be vigilant to protect the people of this country. President Trump has been briefed on this coronavirus. He continues to monitor the situation that is ongoing. The CDC, other federal agencies, of course, as per protocol, as per usual, are working in close coordination to learn as much about the virus, the issue, and the appropriate steps as we can to protect the public health. DOT, DHS, CDC, they're all working so closely together, as they always do in matters like this. I know CDC, I think, is deploying about 100 additional staff to many airports like San Francisco, JFK, LAX, that supplements the existing staff from the CDC at some of the locations there. So we're prepared, and we know this type of thing can get out of hand in the media, and it can stir up a lot of emotion and a lot of fear. But rest assured that we're on top of this at every level, and we're going to do whatever we can to protect the American people.
Good news. Second issue. Yesterday, Andrew Wheeler, the administrator of EPA, made a sweeping announcement of rollback of 404 regulations. Not many people know it. I practiced in that area for 30 years. Home builders, farmers, landowners are cheering. This is an enormous victory for economic growth. Has anyone in the White House press corps brought it up to you?
Why in the world, Hugh Hewitt, would you think the press corps would ask me a policy question when there's such a target-rich environment for politics going on around the world? I will say, in fairness, yesterday I did a gaggle on the North Lawn after a live shot on Fox, and I got a lot of questions, and I only got a couple on impeachment. Most of them were policy related, so kudos for them or to them for actually asking some serious questions, but didn't get anything on that one. Got a few on Davos, of course. Got a couple of impeachment, a potential a potential peace deal in the Middle East, of course, which is leading a lot of newscasts. So I did get some policy questions out there. But listen, when the press corps is given the option 9 times out of 10, they'll choose palace intrigue over policy, politics over policy every day of the week.
Now, that 404 rollback is huge news. I didn't think so. I got two more actually for you. Is Benny Gantz coming?
Is he coming?
Yeah, he's coming to the White House allegedly with Benjamin Netanyahu, but then there were reports late last night that Benny Gantz was dropping out.
Right. Look, I don't want to get ahead of who's coming, who's not. You saw the president's tweet on the matter. This is something that he's really been trying to do. When you see the president's ability to make deals on massive trade things with Mexico, Canada, Japan, South Korea, China, for example, his ability to bring people together from different sides and get something done is unparalleled, and of course is well proven. But the fact is, whether Netanyahu comes, whether Gantz comes, it remains to be seen. We want to get the folks to the table to have a serious discussion about peace in a region that has been in turmoil for a while. And we're looking to do that. But as far as predicting the future, obviously you can't do that with these two groups.
Will the Trump peace plan be unveiled next week as a mortal lock, as they say in the Broadway show?
Yes. Again, I don't want to get too far ahead of what we're going to do one way or the other. I know that Jared and his team have been working on this at the direction of the president. The president's been involved closely as well, along with members of the State Department and others, to try and come up with something that actually goes to solve a problem that's been dogging the region and also dogging leaders across the globe for quite some time. So, it's one of the biggest things you could do as a president to try and broker peace in an area that largely has been unpeaceful. So hopefully we can get that done. But as far as the actual plan is concerned, as the president likes to say, we'll see what happens.
Okay. In the 47 years since Roe v. Wade, pro-life people in the United States have gathered in Washington, D.C. on this date, the anniversary of Roe v. Wade, and there are hundreds of thousands of them typically. They've been addressed by presidents before. They've never had a president appear at the rally. President Trump is going to the march. What's he going to say? How long did it take for him to decide to do that? What's its significance?
Well, it didn't take him long at all to decide. We talked about it before. Obviously, it's a very large venue. There are other things and calendar issues involved when you move a president, security measures, all those types of things. So he made the decision a long time ago he wanted to do it. I'm so happy he's getting to. Hugh, gosh, we've been going to that thing for quite some time. It's one of the most incredible spectacles and consistent marches in this town, and whether it's rain or sleet or snow, and it's been that many times, freezing temperatures, the crowd out there is peaceful, they're happy, they're young, and they're fighting for the most precious gift in the world, and that's life. And I heard a commentator the other day make the point, and I think it should be noted, it's one of the only marches, if not the only march, where people are marching for someone else's rights. It's not just for their own. It's for someone else. It's for the unborn. And the president has been a long advocate for life here in this White House, and he's been touted as one of the most significant leaders, significant presidents to the pro-life movement in history. A lot of the faith leaders across the country say that, and whether it's the Mexico City policy, of course, or the judges he's appointed who want to defend and protect the Constitution and thus the life of the American people. I think it's a really significant moment. And look, one in a long line of the first historic moments this president has participated in or set in this country. So we're looking forward to it. I know he's really excited about getting out there and talking directly to the folks who stand up for the right to life.
It's going to be in the 50s today. It's going to be cloudy but not raining. It's going to be a great day. Just a last question, Hogan. How long will the president's remarks be? And have you seen them even?
I haven't seen them yet. Hopefully I'll get a look at them today. This look, he constructs a lot of his speeches, and the way he does it is he'll tinker with it up until the last second. I mean, right before he goes on, a lot of times he's knee deep in fixing things or changing things. Every jot and tittle he's focused on. I'll be very fair. I've never seen a politician. I've never seen an office holder care so much about the words that they're about to deliver, and he's so meticulous in that preparation. I'll take a look at it probably a little bit later on today. But look, I don't know how long it's going to be because, as you know, sometimes the prompter, the prompter can't hold him. You never know. You never know where he's going to go and where he's going to take the speech. But I do know this is a really great day for America and a celebratory time for people who are standing up for the unborn and for those who can't stand up for themselves.
Hogan, great to talk to you as always. Have a great participation in the March for Life today, and thank you for joining me.
Thank you so much. You have a great day.